everybody, this is Jennifer and Obi. If you follow Obi on Instagram, it's Obi-Wan Cat and Obi. And today we're going to be reviewing some tear stain removers. So if you watched my previous video, you'll know that exotic short hair cats like Obi tend to have tear stains, and it's due to the fact that they're brachycephalic. They have a flat face, and so the tears tend to run down their face instead of going into their tear ducts. And so on a daily basis, it's important that you go ahead and remove those tear stains. It reduces chance of infection. And so I'm going to be reviewing some of those tear stain removers with you today. I have a variety of different products, and I'm going to be going over each one of them. But if you're like me and you really just want to know what's cheap and easy or what's the best, I'm going to tell those to you real quick. So this is the cheap and easy eye saline solution. It's like $2 at Walmart, and it's what the breeder recommends. It works okay, and I'll talk about that. My favorite is the Eye Envy products, and they are the most expensive. So stick with me and I'll tell you a little bit more about each. So starting first with the saline solution. Again, this is what our breeder recommended. She's been showing cats for the last 30 years, and she knows everything there is to know about Persians and exotic short hairs and how to clean them well. So I certainly don't doubt the fact that she is a trustworthy person for recommendations. And so I bought this based on that fact. And it is good for taking away the daily stains and keeping things clean. But I have a white cat, and so it takes a little bit more effort to get him clean. I suppose if I had a brown cat or a black cat or even perhaps an orange cat, this would suffice. But I need something a little bit more powerful than that. So anyways, what I do with this is I go ahead and put it on a simple cotton pad like this, and I wipe it underneath his eyes in the morning and at night. It keeps things from getting crusty. So there's one product, $1 or $2. Next thing I'm going to show you is from Essential Pet. It's called a tear stain remover cleansing liquid, and they recommend that this product be used in addition to water or some other more gentle product. This almost sort of soaps up when you use it. So it is more effective than this one at getting the stains out. It's only $7, so it's not too bad, but it's still not my favorite. I think this helps a little bit, but it requires a little bit of extra rubbing and friction to really get the stains off. And at the end of the day, Obi doesn't really appreciate that. So the other product that I would recommend, the one that I like the most, as I mentioned earlier, is called Eye Envy. And I bought this as part of a kit. So you get these three products. It's $35. And let me break it down for you, each one. So this is the actual tear stain solution. It comes in an easy to use bottle. You just take a pad and pour it on and rub. Now, as part of their kit, they also provide these textured pads, and you can probably tell it's like a weave fabric, and it just gives a little bit more grit when you're rubbing, and so it's better at actually getting away some of that thick stain and dirt underneath the eyes. So this is a nice additional product. You can buy this individually and just use normal pads, and in the future I probably will do that. You can even buy the weaved pads at Walmart or someplace else, probably cheaper than through the kit, but I'm glad to have learned that that's a better technique for getting the stains off. It does work. They also recommend using a toothbrush, and so this is just one that we had laying around the house. It's part of our Sonicare, and it's an old one, so sometimes if it's really bad, I'll dip this into the stain remover and rub it on his face, and that really helps. As a follow-up, after you use the liquid stain remover, they have a powder, and all I do is dip my finger into it and rub it on underneath his eyes. And I think it offers a little bit of drying power. It offers some drying power to help keep the stains from collecting underneath the eye. And because he's white, the white powder really accentuates and brightens that under eye area. So I really like this product. And I think this adds a little bit of extra oomph, especially when you compare it to something like this. So absolutely something I would recommend. Again, it's a little bit on the pricier side. I will say that one thing I do like about this compared to Angel Eyes, which I've used before for a dog, Angel Eyes has steroids in it, it has some antibiotics, and it's an ingested treat for your pet. I don't know if you'd call it a treat. It's more like a powder that you cover the food in. And the concern I have with that is that you're really only supposed to be using steroids and antibiotics when it's truly needed. And there are situations where you don't want to be overusing that product or that antibiotic, or else it might not be as effective when you really do need it. And so, so for that reason, I prefer to go with something a little bit more like a topical powder or the solution to help rid the eye area of stains. Now, there was a situation about 2 weeks ago with Obi where he had legitimate eye infection. I could tell he was just having a lot more tear stains than normal. They were much more dark in color, like a rusty brown, thicker, a bit more mucousy. And so in that situation, I have a tube of Gentamycin that's been prescribed by my veterinarian, and just one quick squeeze of that on Obi's eyes, and the next day he immediately cleared up. So if you notice that your tear stains just aren't going away on your cat, there's a chance that it might be something more than just a stain. It could be a bacterial infection. And so in that situation, I would definitely recommend that you talk with your vet and get some advice on how best to handle that. But in summary, I would say the Eye Envy is a great product. And if you just want to go with something cheap and easy, go with what our breeder recommended, which is the Saline solution. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will spend some time perhaps in my next video showing you how I actually remove the tear stains. So thank you for joining.